This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
But you say he's just a friend.
Oh, you're my best friend.
77 WABC.
Boy.
Oh, that was good stuff. Eliana and Governor Gans from Judea and Samaria. And Tila Falik, who was in studio just a couple of days ago. Her dad, Simon, I love the Falik family. They've got a beautiful vineyard there in Israel, and they make this President Trump wine. I've got myself a bottle of it. Kind of like that President Trump cookie I had last week, but I did eat the cookie.
Why would you do that?
I was hungry.
Why would you do that?
Well, you did too, I thought.
I did not eat the cookie, no.
Louis did.
No, I didn't, actually. I still have it.
You still have it?
Yeah.
I'm the only idiot that ate the cookie?
You can't control yourself to the point where you can't even, you can't just...
But the good news, I'm a recovering drunk, so I can't drink this wine anyway.
All right.
So
your new vice is Trump cookies.
Right. And Danielle likes tequila and vodka, so she ain't going to drink this.
I'll take it.
No one's taking this.
Oh, okay.
This is President Trump wine.
Yeah.
I already sent pictures of this to Margot Martin, Mike Huckabee, everybody.
Yeah.
Look what I've got. So that's a great way to start this Thursday, Teddy Atlas Thursday, here on Sid and Friends in the morning. Curtis Sliwa, of course, gets big ratings, hosting the Rip and Read, noon to 1, every weekday afternoon. He hosts the overnights all weekend long. He does an amazing job with me in studio, and I can't wait to talk to Curtis about the new NYPD commissioner. Happens to be the fourth NYPD commissioner for Adams already, and the second woman. But before we get to that, clearly you find the whole thing very funny. So do I. I did bring up early this morning once again, because every day there is at least one, some days 4 or 5 newspaper articles about me all over the world, from Florida to Jerusalem to Australia to Germany. And lately, they've been using the term shock jock. Now, you have convinced me to wear that proudly. And I am now. I am. But there's still a lot of people who feel like that's a very negative. No.
You're the king of all shock jocks, of which there are very few left, because they've all gone flaccid and soft. Look at Howard Stern. Oh, I love you, Biden and Harris. Oh, my God. He has given up the crown. Sid, wear it and own it. When you walk into that Teddy Atlas event tonight in Staten Island, people will be glomming all over you. Why? Because you're provocative. You're cutting edge. You say what they want to say, but many of them are unwilling to say it.
Well, not the people on Staten Island. They are willing to say it.
No, but a lot of the guests there. You know what I'm talking about.
No, listen. No. A lot of the guests are going to hate me tonight, Curtis.
Yes.
Max Kellerman.
Yeah.
He's a liberal with a capital L. Some of these athletes, these boxers, even Russo. I'm going to walk up there. Even Tracy Morgan, they're going to be like, isn't that the asshole that spoke at the Trump rally that said horrible things about us? Hey, by the way, guys, yes, that's me.
That's right. You got the cred. And by the way, without your acceptance, this is what I'm going to do for you. Because you are the most listened to morning talk show host in the nation, the largest listenership from coast to coast on the biggest radio station, WABC. But you also have frustration. You don't have enough time to talk sports, which is your passion.
Is that true?
Yeah. So this is what I'm going to do.
All right.
Remember, there are guys up in Connecticut who fired me years ago from ESPN. Fired me.
I think Tim McCarthy fired you.
Well, he had to, because he was a general manager at ESPN Radio.
Oh, Norby was giving him pressure?
Yeah, a lot of pressure, because I was on after Warner Wolf on Saturdays. I was doing Yankee Met Talk. And I was making fun of Bud Selig, with the bad rug on his head, and he was wearing those high waters. It looked like he had survived, the floods of the Mississippi River. So they called down from Connecticut, and they told, hey, Tim, you don't believe in birth control. I can see you have a lot of kids there in the Irish Riviera, right? program. You like feeding your kids, sending them to parochial school? Fire Sliwa now. And he fired me.
He fired you.
But you are so hot now. Now that they put Michael Kay on the side.
Well, not yet. I mean, his contract is up in December. You know it's a month before. If they had any real intention, ESPN, of extending his contract, not for the Yankee games, for the Michael Kay show afternoons on ESPN up against Evan and Tiki on the Fan, it would have been done. So I'm reading that they're moving him to a 2-hour midday solo show, keeping Don LaGreca in the afternoon with somebody else. And Peter Rosenberg.
Nobody's going to listen to that. Nobody's going to listen to that. This is my suggestion.
They don't listen now.
This is my suggestion. You go home to the Irish Riviera, the Rockaways. They build you a studio anywhere in your house, just for 2 hours, drive time in the afternoon, 4 to 6. I come on with you once a day for like 15 minutes.
Like you do here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we argue about Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones. Tish. Oh, he's the co-owner. That's right. That's a lead-in to Jessica Tish. Pass the Grey Poupon. Jeeves, could you fetch the stretch limo? Yeah. Park Avenue in Brooklyn, Park Avenue in the Bronx. I didn't even know there was a Park Avenue in Brooklyn in the Bronx. But anyway, how about that? 2 hours.
I like it.
In your home.
I like it.
Nobody knows more about sports than you. You know old-time sports, right here and now sports. You're provocative. I come on with you 15 minutes. I give a little bit of the old-time spin. That would be a winner, and it wouldn't take away from WABC.
No, listen. There's another Rosenberg who just set the same precedent. Peter Rosenberg is on a very popular FM morning show here in New York.
I know that.
The Urban Station.
Of course.
And then he did sports in the afternoon. Why couldn't Sid Rosenberg do the same thing?
Exactly. Peter Rosenberg promoting more drive-by shootings, more drugs, more gangsterism, more gangbangers in the morning, and then goes to sports in the afternoon. 2 hours in the afternoon. You release all your angst, your agita, because you can't talk as much sports as you want.
So where would you and I do this?
No, you do it in the basement of your home. You zoom me in.
And who would air this?
ESPN.
Okay, now let me stop you for a second.
Why?
Because up to now, everything's brilliant.
Yes.
Okay. You realize that the same guys that fired you are still in charge?
No. There have been changes.
No, not enough. A lot of those guys are still radical liberals. ESPN is still radical liberal. Look at the guys who are making the most money there. And you don't think they saw me speak at Madison Square Garden?
Let me tell you something. They understand it's time to kiss Trump's ass. Like MSNBC, right? Hey, you're all fired. We're getting rid of you, NBC. They understand the power of Trump. Their own football players, right? Basketball players doing the Trump dance.
That's true.
Understand.
But they're not. See, so when they do that, you know what happens? You're right about all that, Curtis. But you know who says that the next morning? Fox News.
Right.
You don't see ESPN running highlights on Sunday night going, oh, look, the receiver for the Vikings, Justin Jefferson, he's doing a Trump dance.
Would you have ever thought that on the Hen Cluck, The View, that Miss Sunny, who prides herself as the Trump slayer, everything involved with Trump, would have to come on the air under the orders of the whoopster and have to do an apology?
It's a good start. The truth is they should be fired.
But the point is,
good start.
You saw that, right?
I saw Sonny
You would have
Hostin.
never thought that.
No, never. I have to apologize to Matt Gaetz. And as I said earlier, it was very akin, reminded me of the apology letter that I had to write to Richard Venus and Serena Williams. And I was humiliated. Had to read it live on the air for Imus. But not just Sonny Hostin, not just Sid Rosenberg. I believe in the annals, that's better than annals, in the annals of radio, there's been a Curtis Sliwa apology letter as well.
Yes, not to Sonny on The View, but to Sonny Corleone, James Scott. By the way, talk about the annals of radio. You would need a proctologist to find this. Years ago, I'm talking about Andy Mush Russo fixing fights as the head of the Colombo crime family, fixed a few Vito Antifermo fights, my very dear friend. And also how friendly he was with James Caan, and James Caan, a.k.a. Sonny Corleone from The Godfather, was affiliated with the Colombo crime family. The boss has said, either you apologize, you read and apologize, or you're fired. Forget all your child support, Sliwa. And so Frank Morano was my producer at the time. He says, this is the apology they want you to read. I can't mention the guy who wrote it. He's still a very prestigious lawyer.
What do you mean the guy that wrote it? What do you mean that wrote it?
The lawyer for James Caan.
No. I had to write my own letter to the William.
No. This came from the lawyer, Beverly Hills, very prestigious law firm. He's still in practice. I don't want to mention his name. He wrote this letter. I said to Frank, I can't believe this. They want me to read this? He said, yes, one time. I said, I will read this 50 times. And then we betted some music underneath.
Yeah.
And I read it 50 times over the course.
So did you get what you wanted to get afterwards, after you read it?
They left me alone.
Do you have any audio of this?
Yeah, they didn't kill me.
They didn't kill you.
Andy Bush Russo didn't order a hit on me.
So you survived, Sonny Hostin survived, and Imus, after getting phone calls, and then Howard Stern ripping him that down. Never forget it. He actually... The next day, what was her name again? Cara Dugan, Lewis, called me the next day and said the I-Man wanted to talk to you. So it all ended up okay. But I got to get to Jessica Tisch. Here she is.
Can I just play the apology?
I just asked if you had it. You said no.
Yes,
I want to hear it. Yes.
I would like to take this opportunity to correct a few statements I made in earlier broadcasts on my show concerning the well-known actor James Caan. Contrary to my prior statements, Mr. Caan was not in attendance at a court hearing involving Andrew Russo in New York on April 15th, 2011, and therefore he did not kiss Mr. Russo on the mouth at that hearing, as I previously stated. I also falsely stated that Mr. Caan was a trisexual. I have no knowledge about Mr. Caan's sexual preferences or activities, and it was not my intention to question Mr. Caan's sexual preferences or activities. Although Mr. Caan had written a letter to the judge in support of Mr. Russo obtaining bail, I incorrectly referred to that letter as a friend of the court brief. Further, Mr. Russo did not assist Mr. Caan in his early acting career. I retract my earlier baseless comments about Mr. Caan and sincerely apologize for making them.
I had to do that.
I can't believe that you did all that.
Yeah, ask Frank
That's
Romano.
not you. That's not you.
I know. Hey, look, they were going to fire me. They were afraid of
fire you. Hold on a second.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And I'm not kidding here.
Yes.
This is not just for radio.
Yes.
On behalf of you, I've had to apologize to 2 of the 5 major crime families in this city.
Yes.
Because they were going to kill you that day. And you never said a damn word to these guys?
No.
But you wrote a letter, you read a letter like that? That was humiliating. God, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Why? I admitted he was not a trisexual, and he did not swap spit with Andy Mush Russo, head of the Colombo crime family.
Now that it's years later, you want to retract all that and say he was? And okay.
No, because Andy Mush Russo is now dead. He's room temperature. He went straight to hell without an asbestos suit.
Oh,
but
God.
this points out, if you've been in this business long enough, and you've been cutting edge.
You've been good.
Right, you're going to have to do that.
If you have not read an apology letter,
right,
or have not been fired, guess what? You're not that good.
Nah, nobody
You're not
cares.
that good. Nobody
cares.
About all right, let's get to the police commissioner. He's now had 4 of them. Jessica Tisch becomes the second woman. Keyshawn Sewell, who I love dearly, was the first. She, according to Marsha Kramer, this is an unbelievable choice.
Yeah.
She went to Harvard. What that has to do with police commissioner, I have no idea. She spent 12 years with the NYPD. She was a tech czar.
Whoa. Comstat. That's right. She did analytics like they do for the New York Yankees. You don't see them managing the New York Yankees.
Not. Then she supposedly was revolutionary by putting garbage bags that are rat-proof into bins here in New York.
Well, hold on a second. There's nobody who knows more about sanitation than me. I clean up around here, right? The studios at WABC.
And you wanted to be the rat czar for Eric Adams, but he laughed at you.
Well, this is what they did, right? They removed 18,000 of those street corner containers. They said, why should there be 4 on a corner? Let's eliminate it. Let's take it down to 2. Whose brilliant idea was that? Oh, the analytics chief is Jessica Tisch. There's garbage everywhere. They change the times you pick up garbage. People wake up, they go outside. Hey, the freaking garbage is still there. They made me put it out later, and it's still there. What a mess. There are more rats, mice, and rodents than ever before. So this is the Peter principle. You get kicked upstairs for doing a lousy job as sanitation commissioner. The only words ever out of her mouth, we should compost. We should compost.
I remember that. Compost, a lot of that. Yeah.
What the hell is she talking about?
All right, so let's cut right to the chase.
Yes.
Eric Adams has a huge legal bill. Huge. So part of the reason why he sucks up to Jewish people is my idiot brethren Jewish friends, they give him money. They're idiots. They think he's actually pro-Israel. You are so stupid. So the Tisch family would not be unwilling to write a big check to help out the mayor with his defense fund. And on top of that, being that almost everybody else he's appointed is a crook or corrupt, don't have to worry about the Tisch family taking money. Are those the two reasons why she is the NYPD commissioner today?
Absolutely. The king of grift and graft, Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, is now selling his commissionerships. I believe out of the many Tisches who are rolling in dough, I believe her father is Steve. She lives on the same block as Michael Bloomberg and Elliot Spitzer. This gives you an idea of the wealth of this woman. In fact, you've had John Schell on before, right? From
many times. I consider John Schell a good friend.
She will summon John Schell. She will say, "You've got to come to a power breakfast with me at the Regency. You know, my family owns the Regency. We have a little corner booth there. And remember, you will have to do exactly as I say and abide by all the rules and regulations. You'll have to pay for your own breakfast. I'm having the cage-free eggs poached with avocado toast, imported coffee from Ethiopia. That's $120. John, you'll have to pay for your own tab." So John Schell goes to his wife. "We got to take a reverse mortgage and payday loan. I can't diss the new police commissioner. God. I have to be at the power breakfast at the Regency Hotel on Park Avenue." This woman, you think she can find the 75th precinct in East New York, the 4-6 precinct on Ryer Avenue in the Bronx?
She's been on this show. I've talked to her. I like her.
Oh, yeah. You like Eric Adams, too. What did that do for us?
I did, but I like her. But that doesn't mean she's qualified to do this position. I say this all the time. For me, for Sid Rosenberg, here's my criteria.
Yes.
You want to be police commissioner? You better have made a lot of arrests. Think about Eric Adams. 20-plus years as a cop. I think you had 6 arrests.
House mouse.
It was pathetic.
House mouse.
Right. And if not, a lot of arrests, and you know what? It wouldn't hurt you to shoot a bad guy once in a while, or like Bo Dietl, punch somebody across the face.
She knows nothing about police work. Imagine she walks into the 4-1 precinct, Alexander Avenue in the heart of the South Bronx, and she's not wearing her garb. They would say, "Oh, did you lose your mother somewhere here?" You just look at her. "I lost my mommy. Can you help me find her?" Like she needs a little note on her. You know, "My name is Jessica Tisch. I live on Park Avenue in Manhattan." Are you out of your freaking mind? Eric Adams wants to continue to be the police commissioner. This is what it's all about. Look at what he did to Keyshawn Sewell.
Right. He killed her, and she was great. But you've been see, here's what angers me. So I watched Marsha Clark. Nice lady, but come on, stop it, Marsha. You sound ridiculous. She's on CBS. I watched her. Marsha Kramer, excuse me. Marsha Clark was the one banging Chris Darden. Marsha Kramer, CBS, and some other girl on Fox. Curtis, they go, "Big surprise." What do you mean, big surprise? The last 2 commissioners they picked, Jessica Tisch was in the running. What do you mean, big surprise?
This is, well, let's face it. He sold the commissionership to the Tisch family. By the way, in fact, the co-owner of the New York Giants is going up to Daniel Jones right now and said, "We paid you millions, right? You did your guts. You're sitting on the bench. I want you and your family and your friends to start writing checks to the Eric Adams Legal Defense Fund."
I can see that.
I mean, and I want a lot of checks. I want you to bundle checks. How do you think we got the commissionership for Jessica Tisch? And by the way, I did due diligence. There was that mob of Hamas supporters walking through the streets of Flatbush, the Orthodox Jewish community, where? Nostrand Avenue and Kings Highway. They were outside the synagogue. There were not enough police. And then all of a sudden they went down Nostrand Avenue, came up 29th Street, and they were screaming, not Intifada, they were saying, "Whose streets? Our streets."
And I got married right there 32-plus years ago the other night at the Kingsway Jewish Center. But I did read this morning, Curtis, that not only is Jessica Tisch the new commissioner, but they're adding 1,600 more cops.
Yeah, for the 2,000 who have already fled to other locations where they get treated better. And by the way, they're bringing them there because they have improved police tactics. By the way, I spoke to our very dear friend Ina Vernikoff and Kalman Yeager yesterday, the council people from that area. Long conversation. Nobody informed them what the hell was going on. Nobody informed them. And then I said to myself, hey, where's the big marker, Richie Taylor? Richie Taylor, he lives 6 blocks away, Nostrand Kings Highway. He wears the yarmulke of the Deputy Chief of the NYPD Community Affairs Bureau. If there's anything having to do with Jews, you speak to me, Richie. Hey, Richie, how come you haven't returned any calls? You let a Hamas mob roll through the streets of your neighborhood saying whose streets are streets? What's next, a pogrom? Hey, Jessica, do you even know where Nostrand Avenue and Kings Highway is? You could take the subway. Oh, that's right. Jeeves got the stretch limo. We have to go to some place called Nostrand Avenue and Kings Highway. We have to be with the normal people. I thought only little people paid taxes. Oh, my God. What is wrong with all you people? With all these slashings, with all these random crimes and random assaults, and you think Jessica past the Great Pool Pontish is going to be able to control it? You must all be on LSD like Aaron Rodgers.